What we are witnessing now is no ordinary legislative inquiry. This exercise is a well-funded and coordinated political attack. This much is evident from the very words of the privileged speech that prompted this inquiry. A speech that simply meant to say, do not vote for Sara on 2028.
Just trivialize. Kasi you're a witness. Pareho na rin yung witness and source person. They are not the same. The Supreme Court says they are not the same. And somebody who appears to be the accused has a different tier of protection from a witness. And in fact, you refuse to take the witness stand.
I wish to manifest that the refusal of Her Excellency Vice President Sara Duterte to take her oath in today's hearing in the conduct of inquiry in aid of legislation is an affirmation of her stand, her position during the budget briefing of the OVP. And this representation wishes to manifest that when the resource speaker does not take her oath, then it follows that whatever statement she will provide, we call it, it could not hold any water. That
letter to the Office of the Vice President, you attached a copy of the rules in aid of legislation.
Yes po.
Yes, sir. Nakalagay po doon na witnesses lang po ang ino-oath. Sabi niyo po ngayon sa amin, resource persons kami.
Ang ano po, considered as resource person po.
Ang ano po?
Kayo po.
Kaya nga po.
Yes po. Lahat po ino-oath po.
Yes.
Apo.
Nakalagay po sa rules ninyo, witnesses. Nakalagay po dito ngayon sa table, resource persons.
Lahat po considered as resource person and witness. Lahat po naman kayo, lahat resource person pa eh. Wala pa naman po tayong tinatawag na lahat po considered as resource person pa lang po.
Right. Opo. Ang nasa rules ninyo, witnesses lang po ang nag-oath. Wala po kayong rules sa resource persons.
Ma'am, ano lang po yun eh. Yung term lang po yun eh. Pero considered as resource person din po kayo eh.
Yes, sir. Resource persons nga po
Kayo,
nakalagay
witness
dito.
din po at saka resource person po.
Hindi niyo po sinabi na witness ako. Sinabi niyo po dito ngayon, resource persons. Ang nakalagay po sa rules ninyo, witness.
Comsec, ano po yung pinadala po ninyo?
Yun pong rules in aid of legislation.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
What is the point of order of the Honorable Congressman?
This issue about witness, resource person, etc., etc.
Ma'am, pakilakas lang po, hindi po marinig.
Persons and accused has been taken up in previous legislative inquiries in aid of legislation. I want to quote a December 8, 2008 hearing in the Senate, where Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago had an opinion on a similar situation, but she quoted a Supreme Court ruling. So, the Constitution provides that no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. The Supreme Court has repeatedly emphasized that there is a difference between a mere witness and the accused. And it can appear from statements and privileged speeches that there is that a person who is the subject matter of an adverse privilege speech is not a mere witness or a mere person of interest, meaning a suspect. She is in fact accused of what seems to be a criminal case for violation of certain criminal laws, including malversation of public funds. And there is a case quoted in 2007, Standard Chartered Bank versus the Committee on Banks, where the court repeated the rule that an accused occupies a different tier of protection from an ordinary witness. So, where the court said, Supreme Court said, whereas an ordinary witness may be compelled to take the witness stand and claim the privilege at each question requiring an incriminating answer is shot at him, an accused may altogether refuse to take the witness stand and refuse to answer any or all questions. So that has been a supreme. And then there is a portion that the court explained that the right of the accused against self-incrimination also applies to respondents in administrative investigations, such as in legislative inquiries in aid of legislation. So that is the point of order I am raising, and there is a Supreme Court ruling to this effect. Thank you, Mr.
With that, the chair declares.
Saying that when a witness, in fact, is in reality the accused.
Ma'am, pakilakas po ng konti. Medyo hindi ko po...
What he's saying is that if by the nature, for instance, of the privilege speech, if the witness is not a mere witness, but the person being asked is not a mere witness or a mere person of interest, he is in fact the accused of what seems to be a case including malversation of public funds. And the court repeated the rule that an accused occupies a different tier of protection from an ordinary witness. So from given what Miriam Defensor Santiago said and the Supreme Court ruling that she's quoting, we cannot we cannot just trivialize. Kasi you're a witness. Pareho na rin yung witness and source person. They are not the same. The Supreme Court says they are not the same. And somebody who appears to be the accused has a different tier of protection from a witness. And in fact, can refuse to take the witness stand.
Congressman Flores, you're recognized.
Mr. Chair, this is an inquiry in aid of legislation and no one is technically accused of any wrongdoing here, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, look at the speech.
Ma'am,
Look at the
please,
speech, Mr.
ma'am,
Chair, the privilege.
please wait to be
Mr.
recognized.
Chair, may I request a
Wait,
1
I will,
minute
I will,
recess?
1 minute. 1 minute
Thank
recess
you.
declared by the chair.
The chair would like to recognize the Honorable Luis Tro, Chair Village, Batangas 2nd District, Honorable Paul Plaza, Senior Deputy Minority Leader of 1st District for Kasama, the Honorable Roel Daniel Manuel of the Kabataan Party. The Chair, the committee would like to take note of the manifestation of the Honorable Marcoleta, considering that we have already recognizance of the preliminary determination, we will proceed to the OWA.
Anak namin lang, bakit mo? Palak ba karelo? Sinabi ko talaga. Hindi balo ko lang ko, hindi ko kami. Tapos ngayon, kami. Ito ang sabi tayo.
On behalf of the Commission on Audit, we have to recognize the plenary power of the Congress in
Ano ito balak lang? Dahil sinabi ko na agad. Dami ko lang yung mga anak ko.
since
bakit
invitation
ay kumuha ka
pertains to the budget
may kakayanin.
utilization of the
Ano,
OVP. We can answer questions
sinabi ko
relating
yan.
to that
Mr.
item,
Chair,
Your Honor.
yes.
Ano
Mr.
naman
Chair,
kamag-anak na magsasabarin?
We will now proceed to the next representative.
Session resumes.
Mr. Chair, may I speak?
You will be given the opportunity later, Madam Vice President. In any event, the point of the Honorable Arroyo is well taken, but we will proceed to the oath taking. If the Vice President refuse to take her oath, we will respect that. In the meantime, COMSEC, please proceed with the oath taking of the other witnesses.
To all the other witnesses and or resource persons, please stand up and raise your right hand, inviting the DBM, the MOA, and other staff from the Office of the Vice President, Your Honor. Okay, please your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the statements you will give before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? The oath has been administered, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Congressman Paduano.
Of course, you have already ruled with regards to the point of the order being raised by the former president and now representative of Pampanga, Madam Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. But still, there is also supposedly a pending manifestation being made by the members of this committee with regards to the point of order that was raised. So I think, Mr. Chairman, we have to hear first. But of course, you have already ruled. But we have to also to hear the manifestation of the members of this honorable committee. And in that case, you have already recognized the good Congressman Kim Flores. And I think it's just proper to recognize him once again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Paduano. The Honorable Flores is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, but I think the ruling was already made, Mr. Chair, and I will submit, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Paduano. We will now...
I do not think how we can start the meeting today because
My statement regarding the point of order. Message? Mga kababayan, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum, Warakmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Madayaw, mayong adlaw, kaninyong tanan. Magandang araw sa inyo lahat. The officials of the Office of the Vice President, as well as each and every one of our satellite office leads, were in receipt of a letter from the chairman of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability dated September 13, 2024, requesting our presence or that of our duly authorized representatives in today's initial deliberation with preliminary determination on privilege speech number 379. In view of the said letter, I am appearing before you today not only as the head of office, but more importantly as the duly authorized representative of all officials of the OVP. Simply because we have not done anything wrong. There is no misuse of funds. If there are audit findings, we shall gladly respond to them before the Commission on Audit. And if there are legitimate cases to be filed, then we shall gladly respond to them before the appropriate courts. In relation to this, may I just say that I take notice of the opening speeches and nasabi doon, there is a determination of misfeasance, nonfeasance, and malfeasance. And those are cases that should properly be taken in the courts of law. What we are witnessing now is no ordinary legislative inquiry. This exercise is a well-funded and coordinated political attack. This much is evident from the very words of the privileged speech that prompted this inquiry. A speech that simply meant to say, do not vote for Sara on 2028. It is clear to me that this inquiry is not about misused funds, accountability, or governance. Instead, it is solely aimed at discrediting my name and my office to prevent future political contests. I have publicly stated my reasons as to why I've chosen not to defend the OVP's budget proposal for 2025. I have narrated the issues I encountered in previous years, which can easily be confirmed by looking at the NEP, the GAP, and the GAA for fiscal years 2023 and 2024. Further, I have even shared the drama that transpired last year regarding the confidential funds. Hence, just as we have done last year, we again leave the 2025 OVP budget to the pleasure of Congressman Martin Romualdez. I am not asking for any special treatment, nor am I asking you to uphold any tradition. There is no disrespect. All I am saying is that you have the complete freedom to do whatever you wish with the OVP budget. If you feel that all the documentary submissions are not enough, then by all means, huwag kayo magbigay ng budget. Sa totoo lang, hindi naman ang budget ang punteriya ninyo. Dahil napakadali naman magtanggal ng budget. What you are trying to do is make a case for impeachment. Hindi naman ako kakandidato sa nalalapit na eleksyon. Hindi ako namumulitika. Ang ginagawa ko lamang ay ang pagtupad sa aking oath of office at campaign platforms na trabaho, edukasyon, at mapayapang pamumuhay. Sinabi ko na noon at ilang beses ko nang inulit na hindi ako ang problema ng bayan na ito. Ang totoong problema ng bayan ay kagutuman, kahirapan, iligal na droga, kriminalidad, terorismo, hindi na sapat na healthcare, kalidad ng edukasyon, kawalan ng plano ng infrastruktura para sa disasters, at marami pang iba. So, you may try to destroy me, you can skin me alive, and throw my ashes to the wind. But let it be known, you will find me unbowed. I will continue to serve the Filipino people no matter the personal cost or political intrigue. Having said that, I will not allow myself to be subjected to an inquiry based on an empty, privileged speech just so you can attack me and do indirectly what you failed to do directly during the budget hearings. I therefore request this committee to terminate this inquiry for its clear lack of any proposed legislation or substantive matter for discussion. Shukran.
The committee cannot rule on that because the committee already took cognizance of this privilege speech. Anyway, we will now proceed. Next, we will recognize the representative from COA,
Mr. Chair,
ay Congressman Marcoleta.
may I please raise a parliamentary inquiry?
What is your parliamentary inquiry?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The rules of the committee says that this committee only acquires jurisdiction on matters of nonfeasance, misfeasance, malfeasance. And under Section 2, Mr. Chair of the rules, there should be a prior determination whether or not these malfeasance, nonfeasance, and misfeasance are directly or specifically relating to the persons charged of this. Has this committee made a prior determination of this? And if so, when did it happen? And where is the order specifying that the committee has just reached a prior determination? This is very important, Mr. Chair, because the rules also says that after determining or making a prior determination, this committee will set an order. And that is the only way that this committee acquire jurisdiction over the person's subject matter of this inquiry. And that particular order of prior determination will set out the parameters. If I can make a comparison, Mr. Chair, in regular court, it is called pre-trial order, where the parameters of the inquiry, the presentation of evidence or explanations or allegations are limited to that set of stipulation. So considering, Mr. Chair, and I assume that there is no prior determination, I do not think how we can start the meeting today because we are supposed to observe the rules. I'm referring to Section 2 of the rules of this committee, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. To answer that, Congressman Marcoleta, we have already ruled on the preliminary determination a while ago. Medyo na-late na po kayo. Now, with respect to your inquiry, that if we can proceed with this, considering that this is an investigation of malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance, let me walk you through through the definition of good government and public accountability. It provides that all matters directly and principally relating to malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance in office committed by officers and employees of the government and its political subdivision and instrumentalities, inclusive of investigations of any matter of public interest on its own initiative or upon order of the House. For the information of everybody, the issue on confidential fund is a matter of public interest. Lahat po tayo ay interesado, hindi lamang po tayo, yung publiko po, interesado kung paano po ito nagamit. Kaya yun po ang dahilan why this committee has jurisdiction over the subject matter.
But Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
Congressman Marcoleta.
Mr. Chair, under Section 5, there should be a record of preliminary determination. It says that the proceedings in the preliminary investigation or determination shall be recorded through stenographic notes. What you were mentioning are motu proprio cases. I am assuming that this committee started by way of a referral because of a privileged speech delivered on the floor by one of us. And so this is the main subject matter of this committee meeting, and to which we should first determine preliminarily whether or not this committee acquires jurisdiction. And I demand a record of preliminary determination under Section 5 because it says, upon termination thereof, Mr. Chair, the chairperson shall issue an order which shall recite in details the matters taken up. So what are the matters taken up, Mr. Chair? I think we should be able to comply with these elementary rules as specified in the governing rules.
well, considering that we have yet to proceed to the interpellation, we are still in the period of recognizing the resource person as well as the witness. With that, the chair declares 1 minute suspension. I would like to take note of the manifestation of the Honorable Marcoleta, but considering that the committee already took cognizance of the preliminary determination, we will proceed to the COA. COA, please. Sino po yung representative ng COA?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Sa ating mga members of the committee, magandang umaga po. On behalf of the Commission on Audit, we do recognize the plenary power of the Congress in asking questions relating to legislation. And since the invitation only pertains to the budget utilization of the OBP, we can answer questions relating to that, Your Honor. That would be all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We will now proceed to the next representative from DBM.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to all Your Honors. Yes, by the invitation of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, we're here to provide information on the Office of the President's budget in the calendar year CY 2022 to 2024 budget utilization and performance, compliance with the GAA, including fund transfer and budget realignment, as well as the agency's program projects and activities, among others. So any inquiry we'll just answer during this congressional meeting, Mr. Chair. And if ever there's a need for us to provide data and information, we'll do so, Mr. Chair. So, good morning.
Thank you. The chair is in receipt of the authority from the Committee on Rules with respect to the motu proprio inquiry on the manifestation of Representative Jingy Luistro during the budget hearing of the Department of Education in the Committee on Appropriation on September 10, 2024. But we will proceed with the preliminary determination later. In the meantime, we will proceed to the interpellation with respect to the privileged speech of Congressman Valeriano. Before we proceed, we will set rules. We will set certain rules or parameters. We will limit the interpellator to 5 minutes. Hindi po kasama yung sagot. And then, pwede po paki-silent po ang inyong mga telepono. Turn off nyo po or silent mode. And please observe proper decorum. Para hindi po tayo maging magulo at maging maayos lamang po. At lahat po yung mga gustong mag-interpolate, lapit lang po dito sa COMSEC at magpalista. Ang magiging sistema po natin, mauuna pong minority, and then the majority, minority, majority. Now, we will...
Slides on the screen, Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
please.
Mr. Chair, these were the same slides that I presented to the Committee on Appropriations during the deliberation on the budget of the Office of the Vice President 2 weeks ago. For those who were not there in the meeting, a very quick summary, Mr. Chair, in the interest of time. So these, the slides were put together based on the different documents submitted, how
There were 3 items that are part of the notice of disallowance. The first one is on the non-submission.
Nagpapasalamat po ako sa committee na ito po na
Again, we ask them for an explanation since by themselves food and medical aid appears to not fall under the expenses allowed by the joint circular. So we are asking for explanation on those items. And then, as the same with traveling expenses, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, in the interest of time, I'll move to my final slide.
You still have 1 minute.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Clarificatory question sa Mr. Chair kasi at least nandito na ba yung team sa COA. Last slide, please, COMSEC. Here, Mr. Chair, I would like to ask COA because very interestingly po, isa po sa mga napansin natin is the length of disbursement for the 125 million across the different quarters po. Meron po ba na information yung COA as to how how the disbursements were done in terms of the speed by which the disbursements were done? Like for example po, the 125 million in December were spent in 11 days as opposed to in Q3 2023 po, wherein it was spent in 79 days. So kasi po, one thing that we can see as well in the previous slide is regardless of the length of the disbursement or the speed of the disbursement or the areas of surveillance, if you can move to the previous slide, COMSEC. Ito po. The numbers of areas under surveillance are different. And the speed of the disbursement is different as well. But it seems like the expenditure patterns are very similar po across categories and across the different quarters. So, meron po bang nakita yung COA with regards to that po, Mr. Chair?
Please wrap up your questions. Pakisagot na lang po. Tapos na po kayo.
Mr. Chair, since we were given the data on the areas and they have also submitted evidences of payments, we did not conduct a study on the speed by which the frequency of the payments, as long as we were satisfied with the number of areas that they have served. So if we can average it based on that the number of areas, I think it is possible to be spending the set amounts.
Mr. Chair, final question na lang
Okay,
po.
last question.
Because the AOMs were issued po in February 1, 2024 for the first AOM, and then the second AOM po on August 8, 2024. Reading through the AOMs po, the Office of the Vice President is given 15 days to respond to the AOMs. I believe the first one has been responded to in April. So meron na po bang response doon po sa August 8 na AOM?
Yes, Madam Chair, they have submitted their reply to the AOMs, and the audit is on the compliance is ongoing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Those are my clarificatory questions po. Clarification because the team handling the audit is now here. So just wanted to clarify po dun po sa slides na present po nung nakalaang OVP budget hearing. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
May I approach the table? Request 1 minute suspension.
The chair declares 1 minute suspension. Session resumes.
Mr. Chair, may I
The
request...
Honorable Vice President is recognized.
Thank you. May I request to leave the inquiry?
Ma'am, pwede naman po, considering na hindi naman din po kayo naka-oath and alam naman po namin marami rin po kayong ginagawa. The Vice President is excused.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning.
1 minute suspension is declared by the Chair.
Nakakabayan.